So we're on a bit of a field trip test hike to see what the mountain snow conditions are like and do a final long distance check with this fella Viking. My goal on these last few days is to hike long distances with no commands whatsoever, just hand signs. So we came all the way up from the valley. You know, we live down in that valley and we hike all the way around, keep circling around till I get to here. We can go higher, but it's getting too tough. The conditions are soft snow, and this is pretty hard going. We come about 4.5 kilometers to here, and so it'll be about 9 kilometers to get home. And it's kind of a wet day out, but it's good for us. This is my boy Mon. These two are brothers, so they got the same mother, Tekla. Now these are two of the best dogs there is, pretty much. Vintner and the brothers and the other brothers and sisters of Viking are, and of course the siblings of Mon are all rock stars. All our dogs are like this, but I was able to leave the yard and make it to here and sit down and not say a word to either one of these two guys. They watched me and stuck with me the entire time, and we came through the timber the whole way. And today we're going on ancient old logging roads, so that we've got a bit of clearing, because all the brush has bent over and it snowed on top, and when I stick through, my snowshoe catches. So for me to go in right now with the snow so soft, it's very, very hard for me to go. So I go on the old logging roads. There's nobody on them, hadn't been anybody on them for years, but the underbrush is not under the snow, so we're good. These guys like it in the trees right now because they can go under the trees. Now I hope it's not too noisy on my camera. I might film twice, one each direction, because the wind is so bad today. It's blowing right at my camera, so I hope it's not causing any problems. Now, these are extremely good, reliable genetics for this type of work. This is the most reliable genetics in the world come out of this strain. And in the old country, these dogs have been used like this for centuries. They've helped go through the timber and find game, and help the logger and look out for the bushman and woodsman, and help families go from one place to the other. And these are extremely reliable dogs. And these are the best lineages that are in North America from over there are sitting in front of me right now. Very, very good. Now, I brought in Pretty Boy Leaf, which is Viking's dad from a show line, but he's an extremely good dog. And his Mon's mother, Viking's mother, of course, woke up every instinct that was a little dull in Leaf and brought it right out. So you get these incredible dogs. I mean, they're just, how incredible is this, right? And what I like about hiking out here with dogs like this is I can enjoy the hike. I can enjoy my time, I can have fun. I brought a thermos of coffee today. We'll have a coffee break up here. And I can just hike and have fun. I don't have to say a word. And I can just enjoy my time. Now, that is fantastic. Now, the Swedes, they did a study. This is way off topic, but it don't matter. But they did a study on people who hike with dogs. Do they live longer than those with don't have a dog? And if you just have a dog and hike, you live 30% longer. But if you have a hunting dog and hike, you live 40. So, thanks to these guys, I gotta save a lot more money for my old age, because I'm gonna outlive it long before I go. That's pretty cool. Way to go, you guys. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So, I mean, you can have a pretty nice time hiking when you don't have to fight with your dog. You don't have to worry about your dog. And now, I put their harnesses on them today because right by the yard, Ken was doing a few things across with his, and so I just left the harnesses on and I hooked them up. I put them on the leash to walk by his, but I would have been able to just carry on, but that's okay. But it's good for them because they know it's work time, right? The harness is what signals the dog to know it's work. So you'll notice I got a very, very focused group today. No goofing around, no playtime. This is all work because the harness is still on. And they fully appreciate that fact. Now, working dog, honest to goodness, you should signal the dog that it's work. You should put a harness on, and then the dog knows you're doing something different than just playing or fooling around. And that is what these do. Now, as they get older, okay, you could do it without it and snap them out of it. But we're talking 16 weeks here, and we're talking just over a year here. So we got two young guys. Now, either one of these guys are better than most 10-year-old off-leash dogs anyway, but that's okay. This is genetics at work, nothing I did. This is just fancy genetics. So yeah. Now you can't get this in. Don't ever think just because you get an Elkhound you get this ability to do this, because that ain't happening. You gotta have the right Elkhound, let me tell you. And you're sure not doing this with some herding dog or some other kind of breed, that's a fact. Good luck. They'll be long gone, won't they, boys? You boys will be looking at them heading away. But is this a phenomenal pair of boys or what? It's just amazing. They're watching that crow like a hawk, boy. They're just staring at him. They'd like to eat him. So I wonder if I could get you turned for the camera, big fella. You're such a shiny, nice fella. I wonder if we can do that. Let me move this over. You guys just turn a little bit for the camera here. Let me just turn you a little bit. That's my boy. There, right on. I'll pull this back up. Good. There, you boys. Pretty fantastic. So I've got 6 of Mon's pups back at the yard. Oh my goodness. They are amazing. Just amazing. Super smart little guys, just like little Vikings. It's really something. So yeah, I'm having fun with them. I've had them out. We've been working away with them, and yeah, it's really been good. Now, coming up here, we probably got, when I get to the peak up there, it's on my unit there, it tells me I'm at about 5,100, but I think I've measured to here, we only get to about 4,200, 4,400 here, something like that. So that's all I am here, in feet. So we came up not overly high. That ridge right behind us is like phase 2 for us, and if we were to go to there, well, I'd be pretty tired in these conditions by there. So then my knees would play out. And I gotta sit in the kennel tomorrow, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I gotta sit out there because Anya's having her pups. So I'll be spending time in the kennel, so I didn't want my knees played out. And see, going up is no problem for me. It's going down in these conditions. That's where my knees take a beating. And anybody's would. Mine are like solid iron, but at the same time they take They really got to hold me back, and it's tough going, especially if I dig in. Oh, and I only dig in if somebody jumps on my snowshoe. But these guys are great. They never stepped on my snowshoe once. When I stop, of course, they come and they roll upside down on them, but they don't. These two don't track on them. They're very, very good. So, yeah, exceptional dogs that way. Now you see, I could sit here for a couple hours, have my lunch, have coffee, just not move, and they wouldn't move. This is their life right here. These are exceptional dogs. I could camp out here and they would just be happy. They'd check around, but they'd never be out of sight. And this guy is locked on. Like I put him with his brother almost from the day he was born, and his brother is like a magnet. And so Viking is just locked to the handler. Like you can go for years and years before you can get a dog to lock on so well like this. And this happens almost immediate because of these genetics. And the old breeders you see in the old country, they knew that if they stopped, if their pup got out of sight, they couldn't find him. And it's one thing if you got snow on the ground, but if you don't have snow on the ground, you can't track them. And so what they had to breed was dogs that would stay right here. Just they can't let them go. And you can't go through the bush with a dog on a lead, of course. That's anybody who's tried that will tell you that's futile. So they had to breed the dogs that could do this. Now any dog that didn't stay, you see, that dog was long gone and never got bred. So only the dogs that stayed, of course, they picked the very best one out of the group. They walk with 3, 4, they find out which one stays, they keep them for breeding, right? And that's the key with genetic selection, is you have to be able to work the dog to find the genetic selection. And if you're not working the dog, all you're doing is looking at the dog. Well, I can tell you right now, I got a really nice looking dog down in the kennel, Pretty Boy Leaf. But is he as genetically inclined to focus on the handler? No. He's very, very good, but he's not at this level. And so that's why that pup is better than his dad, because he has his mother. And his mother, you see, is right like this. If you've ever seen Tekla or Tuva, they're just locked on. So very, very good. So yeah, I'm proud of these guys, let me tell you. Now in hiking, if you want to hike the backcountry and you want to hike, well, it doesn't matter where you want to hike. We got GQ dogs, we got dogs in the city, we got dogs in every kind of work. We got them in monster cities, outside of Moscow, we got them outside of New York, we got them everywhere. And so it doesn't matter where you want to go with the dog. What you want is a good, solid, genetically bred dog that will not give you any issues, any hassles. Now you see that little guy? He's just checking the zone, and he's going to come back, say hello. He's just going around, never gets out of sight. What a phenomenal little fella. Like, just unbelievable. So yeah, these are good if a person wants to do some walking and hiking, and you can meet other dogs. These are not aggressive dogs. You can leave them with the kids. I mean, they're phenomenal family dogs. Of course, that's what they're bred for, to be family dogs. See, look at this rock star. What a good boy. What a good boy. Oh my goodness, you guys are good. Oh, you guys are good. My goodness. Now that's a pretty good boy. That's a pretty good boy. Pretty good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah, you bet. Let's turn you around for the camera. Come sit by me for the camera. There's my boy. Oh, there we go. What a good boy. Good boy. That is a good boy. That is. Good. So Ron and Anita are getting Viking. And on the 4th, he's flying out. He's flying out of Seattle. He's heading down to Santa Fe, New Mexico. He's going up in the mountains there. They still got snow at 9,000 feet, Anita told me. They're taking him up there because he's going to miss the snow. So they're taking him up there. And he can hike to there too. He's acclimatized to that. They might have to take it a little slow, but he'll make her. These are powerhouse dogs, good for hiking, good compact dogs, built for this type of stuff. Come around here, man. Turn around, buddy. Right on. What a good boy. What a good boy. Well, that's a pretty good video, you guys. Let's go check that baby out, and then I'll get my coffee out. We'll have coffee. Just a second, man. I gotta get my leg back. Right on, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Hang on. Just hang on. Hang on, buddy. Let me get this camera. Well, that's pretty cool, I believe.